all over. It is now.
Hello and welcome to They Think It's All Over. With David and Jonathan this week is a man who, after beating Chris Eubank senseless for 12 rounds, was awarded the World Super Middleweight title, as well as the Nobel Prize for twat flattening. Joe Calzaghe. With Gary and Rory is a comedian who's also a lifelong fan of St Johnstone and Scotland. So he's 46 years old and he's never tasted champagne, punched the air or seen an open-top bus. Fred MacAulay. It's handbags time now, all about Barneys between sports stars. David, Jonathan and Joe, your squabble involves two giants in the world of boxing. So that's Ricky Gervais from The Office and Joe's manager, Frank Warren. So why the verbal fisticuffs? David's team.
Before we start that, Nick, we must discuss what's happening in Zimbabwe. Because we still don't know whether David is or is not going out to Zimbabwe. No, I mean, this is worrying stuff. He could die out there, and not just from old age. I've told him he should either buy a bulletproof jacket or put that old bat he used to use down the middle, because nothing ever hit the centre there, did it?
It's a very complex subject, let's be honest, and it's a very serious subject. I think, probably on balance, that the team shouldn't go there, but David should.
Yeah.
I think that'd satisfy everyone.
I was saying on matters of deep principle they should not go.
Yeah.
You were just
and
scared.
appease that horrendous
The
regime.
principle being that you would have shat yourself if you'd got there.
And he was even more scared when he found out Sky had only bought him a one-way ticket. There was a preview of the Cricket World Cup, and they were speaking in The Guardian about all the commentators, OK? And I've written this down because they wrote about David, and they actually wrote, Gower batted in much the same way he would make love to a beautiful woman.
For hours and hours.
No. And then you get in the crease, then you'd be out again. And you were always getting caught behind.
Oh, there must be more than that.
That's it. But, you know, we should think about the situation in Zimbabwe. Where was it again?
Zagreb, you're on to now. Boxing!
Never mind boxing!
I have a suspicion this might well be something to do with celebrity boxing. It's just a sort of... just a hunch.
Hey, Joe, isn't it nice to have an actual... Step back. A champion on the show, ladies and gentlemen. Isn't your name Calzaghe? That's what they call those pizzas. They fold in half, isn't it?
Keep it up, mate. I'll be folding you in half. Is that
oh, love. Okay. Please! Joe, I believe it's right. You're half Welsh, aren't you? And half Italian.
There it goes, yeah.
Man, that's a mix, isn't it? I imagine that makes you eligible to join the most feared crime syndicate in the world. The Taffia. What? That's a good jump. No, you want to worry about them. You cross the Taffia, they'll make you an offer you can't understand. You could wake up with a sheep in your bed. It happened to him. No, but seriously, you will always be a great British champion to us, Joe.
Thanks a lot.
Until you lose, and you'll be a stupid Italian bastard.
That's right. That's okay.
The Zimbabwean prince here, he thinks celebrity boxing, is that right?
Yeah, to do with Frank Warren, I suppose. Frank Warren's a promoter, obviously, and the celebrity boxer, I know the British boxing board, the control. It's a bit of controversy where they didn't sanction the fight and they think it's dangerous.
Yes, Joe had the answer correct. Thank you very much, Joe. 3 points to David's
well done,
side.
Joe.
Well done.
Good work.
It's all about the BBC Celebrity Boxing shown last month when Gervais beat Anthea Turner's husband, Grant Bovey, on points. The BBC have cancelled all future unlicensed fights and have banned us from showing you any of the bout after Frank Warren complained they were making a farce of the noble art. The tragedy, of course, is that this will simply drive celebrity boxing underground, although it does mean Leslie Ash can finally take her gum shield out. The BBC were actually planning a fight with Wendy Craig, but that's now off, so Audley Harrison will have to find another opponent. Gary, Rory and Fred, here's Liverpool edging out Manchester City in the Cup for the right to that oh-so-easy home tie against Crystal Palace.
Murphy to take and to score. Liverpool lead.
Your run-in is between the City manager, Kevin Keegan, and the entire city of Liverpool. So why did the Scousers turn on their honorary favourite son?
Did Keegan make a reference to that famous Scouse television ad about washing up liquid? You know, hey, ma'am, why are your hands so soft? 'Cause I'm 12. Any nice memories? Did they have a special song for you on the top when you played there?
They did early on, yeah. Last year in the UEFA Cup, I was doing a match for the BBC, and after the game I was waiting outside, signing a few of the kids' autographs, and this little tiny kid, he's about 8 years old, he came up to me and he said, Gary, how much do you get, like, for them Walker's Crisps ads? And I said, well, a little bit more than your pocket money, sonny. What, 20 grand a week? I swear. He's so sharp. Very good.
Kenny Dalglish came out of the tunnel once at Anfield, yeah, and a wee boy came up to him and he went, shite today, Kenny. And he said, no yet, sonny, but I might have one later on this evening. See how it goes. Kind of touching cloth now you mention it.
So you're a St Johnstone supporter, aren't you?
I am indeed, yes.
Do they have any celebrity supporters?
There was actually a celebrity supporter. Ewan McGregor came to see St Johnstone play, and he had a polo neck on. I don't know if you got the story in the papers down here, but they said he couldn't go into the boardroom afterwards because it was strictly collar and tie. And the secretary of St Johnstone said to me, listen, Fred, if you ever want to come and see a game, just give us a call. So I decided I'd phone and take him up on his offer. We go out and we're sitting down to watch the game, and there's a defender called Dodds. And Dodds went in for a tackle and drew back a bit, and the secretary, who'd been telling me how to behave properly for the last 4 hours, stood up and shouted, Dodds, you f***ing shut it! So, Fred, will you be joining us afterwards for another cup of tea?
Because I used to watch Fred's show. You used to do a show with Ali McCoy, didn't you?
That's right,
In the evenings. Well, you used to say that when his wife called anyway, didn't you? Yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah. You're here with me now, aren't you? Yes, I am.
Actually, you might have seen him on Celebrity Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, and they got a tricky question, and they said to Ali, we can phone a friend. And they phoned the friend, and the friend went, yes, we were just playing pool all night with a few beers. And
I think it's something to do with the stereotype of Liverpool being car thieves. So I remember once I was driving through Liverpool and got a puncture on Scotland Road by the docks, and so I, got round the back, took the spare tyre out in the jack, and started lifting the car up. And when I was doing this, some bloke got in the front seat with a screwdriver and started having a go at my dashboard. So I said, "What are you doing?" He said, "If you're having the tyres, mate, I'm having the radio."
The only bit of that really rang true was the idea of him driving down by the docks. You could just picture that, couldn't you?
But,
he hadn't even stopped either. He was just going that slow that the bloke got in.
I think Keegan said something about the transfer of Robbie Fowler, the ex-Liverpool hero, to Keegan's own Man City, and it suggested he wouldn't go to Liverpool in case he got his hubcap stolen, and it caused... I think there was a radio phone in Liverpool got swamped by people calling and saying, I'm not a car thief at all. And obviously I know a lot of people who are, but like my little sister, she's a car thief. But I'm not. I'm a fucking doctor, I am. I'm senior registrar at Liverpool Royal Infirmary, me. Obviously I have nicked a few cars every time,
Is virtually the correct answer for 3 points, yes. Robbie Fowler is one of many Leeds players heading out of Ellen Road in the club's big sale. Harry Kewell could go for 10 million, Eric Bakker is on offer at 2 million, and if you buy any 2 defenders, you get David Batty free. In future, all Leeds matches are going to be shown live on the shopping channel. And at the end of that round, David's team have 3 points and Gary's team have 3 points. We move on to Sporting Bluff now. David's team, your question is all about the true origins of the game of cricket. Here's the earliest footage that has survived. So that was W.G. Grace and some other old men. Now,
You bastard.
that tickled you. Gary's team.
New evidence has emerged that cricket was invented by the Scots.
New evidence has emerged that cricket was invented by the French.
New evidence has emerged that cricket was invented by women.
Who invented cricket? Come on, David, you must know. You were there.
So the film showed it.
If you look closely at the Bayeux Tapestry, you can see David just sloping off with his bat under his arm. Yeah. Did you earn a living on the side as like a Harpo Marx impersonator? Three-boiled egg. Hong, hong, hong.
I think there was a reference in Dumas' Three Musketeers, actually, to cricket. There was a game between England and France described therein, and the England score...
That's not fair. He's just talking properly, and we're laughing at him.
He's been reading some racy Chaucer again.
The French and cricket. Can you imagine French in ancient times, the kings playing cricket with their ridiculous powdered faces and silly white wigs? Who was it? It was the Scots. French countrymen. Is it the Scots or the Scotch?
Scots.
Why do Frenchmen... The Scotsmen don't like you call them Scotchmen, do they?
No.
Why not?
It's
I'm just confused.
a book by Robert Burns and something therein. Recall.
Fred, to be fair, they have played cricket in Scotland for quite some while. It took a while to get going because no one would actually produce a coin for the toss at the start.
Hey!
Welsh, good cricketers?
No.
Beat England?
No. What?
Did they beat England last year, one day?
Didn't count.
Oh, that's convenient.
Yeah.
Joe, what do you think? Women and cricket?
It goes on and on and on, so very possible, isn't it?
Oh, hey!
Sorry, women, I don't mean it.
See, but when he says it with his smouldering good looks, he gets away with it. We get booed. The ladies, don't you love him, ladies? Wow. Oh, so we got the lesbians in again then. It's the hair. They think I'm one of them. They think I'm a regional weather girl.
Oh, regional weather.
Yeah. What do you think, Captain? You're our cricket man. You're our go-to person for
I
cricket.
think we're going to go for once.
OK, so you think that Gary was telling the truth. Let's see if you're right.
Yeah. Good work, Captain. Well done, Joe. Good work. Good laugh from the lady line.
So, Gary was right. According to a recently unearthed manuscript, cricket was invented by French soldiers in the 100 Years' War. English cricket took a huge stride forward with the invention of stumps 400 years ago, and the leather ball 300 years ago, and then a huge stride backwards 200 years ago with the invention of Australia. Gary's team, it's Michael Jackson's favourite side, Exeter City, scoring against Charlton in the FA Cup. Now, apart from Michael Jackson and co-chairman Uri Geller, there is another celebrity connection with the Devon club. What could it be? David's team?
Exeter's latest club director is Harry Potter.
Exeter's latest...
Just read what is therein.
I think you'll find it's thereon.
I stand corrected.
David's performing every night at Ye Comedy Store.
Only gags recycling.
Recycling?
Yeah, recycling.
That is recycling. Exeter's latest club director is Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Exeter's latest club director is Darth Vader.
So, have Exeter City appointed Harry Potter, Buffy or Darth Vader to their board of directors, Gary's team?
Michael Jackson, eh? What a
An old friend. I did sort of think when you watch it, though, I imagine this is what Jonathan's house is like. Didn't you?
I must be, I was at home going, oh, look at his garden, he's got a roller coaster, why can't I have a roller coaster? Well, seriously, wouldn't you, if you had that money, wouldn't you have a roller coaster in your garden?
I heard that after the documentary went out that Michael is considering taking legal action against people that have said things about him on broadcast media, so
yeah.
I'm glad I haven't said anything about the chiseled features, pasty-faced, freaky geek.
What's that thing he has in his garden? He has this tree called a giving tree,
Yeah.
doesn't he? That he sort of climbs for inspiration for his songs and his music and his friends.
He's a 44-year-old man. It's not a giving tree he needs, it's a receiving bush. Sort him out.
I've got a giving tree.
Have you?
Yeah, I climb up it, sit up there and write my comedy.
Has he got Dutch elm disease or something? What's your name? Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Any thoughts on that?
Rory, you're the buffet slayer, aren't you?
Right, what's the other one?
Darth Vader.
Darth Vader. Fred?
I suspect it might be, but not the James Earl Jones. I think it's more likely to be David Prowse, the West Country inhabitant, whose voice they removed as Darth Vader. But I can just see him at the Exeter City board meetings giving it.
I think, basically, we should concentrate on shagging adults. How does the board feel about that, then?
So you think that Jonathan was telling the truth? Let's see if you're right. So Jonathan was truthful for once. Darth Vader, as played by actor Dave Prowse, was recently invited by Uri Geller to become an honorary director alongside Michael Jackson and magician David Blaine. Vader is the only Star Wars character currently involved in professional football, except Chewbacca, who now works for Sky Sports under the name Richard Keys. Now he's a director of the club. Michael Jackson has announced big plans for Exeter City. He's personally going to pay for a 35,000 all-seater creche. And so, at the end of that round, David's team have 6 points and Gary's team have 6 points. Well done. Time now for some pitiful excuses. David's team hears the rare sight of Mark Bosnich between the sticks for Chelsea during their embarrassing European exit against Hapoel Tel Aviv.
Can Bosnich produce another heroic save here for Chelsea?
Now, in the autumn, Bosnich tested positive for cocaine, after which he was sacked by Chelsea, a decision which was upheld by a tribunal last week. But he claimed to be pure as the driven snow. So what was his excuse, David's team?
Rory, of course. You can see he's been mainlining gravy. There's no way he'd pass it. Your hair's gone a bit high tonight. You've got an extra tuft. Have a look at that.
Have I?
Have you had a bird nesting in there or something? Look at that. It's like a microphone on top of your head. You're not the Jackson brother they don't talk about. Because there was...
God! What would you have to be the Jackson brother they don't talk about?
Jonathan, you've heard of Imodium, haven't you?
Imodium?
Do they do a verbal version?
Well, maybe, had he been shaking hands with Maradona? Was he auditioning for Blue Peter? Any of these things sound mightily plausible to me, but no one else.
You get spiked. He said you got spiked in the club or something in the drink.
Thank you. The voice of sanity on that team, Joe Calzaghe.
Right.
3 points, thank you.
Thank you.
Mark Bosnich claimed in time-honoured fashion that someone had sneaked up when he wasn't looking and spiked his drink with cocaine. Mark Bosnich got into trouble a few years ago when he gave a Hitler salute to the crowd at White Hart Lane. It was the most shocking thing to have happened at Tottenham since Gary Lineker broke into a sweat in 1991. Gary's team here's Scotland slumping to inevitable defeat against South Africa last summer.
Slipped through for Kumantarakis, and that has sealed it for South Africa.
Now, that was one of 4 defeats in German manager Bertie Vogt's first 4 matches in charge, including 5-0 against France and 4-1 against South Korea. But Vogt has disclaimed all responsibility for those routs. So what's his rather bizarre excuse, Gary's team?
Never mind that. What was the French excuse for only losing 5-0?
Only winning
5-0. Fantastic, Gary.
I'll tell you what.
Gary! Hold on.
He had to say the word winning, and he chose the word losing.
Let's try it again. Gary, any thoughts?
None whatsoever.
Is the excuse a diet thing? Because the Scots are famous for the diet, aren't they?
I mean, there is this misconception that all we do is eat fish and chips, and we don't always do that. I mean, you know, you'll take fish and chips home, you might not finish it off, and then in the morning you get up and you have the chips cold, and that's a salad.
It's true, isn't it?
So it's because he'd only just taken over and...
I think it's because...
It wasn't really his team yet.
I think Gary got it right. Well done for 3 points. Bertie Vogts claims that he wasn't really in charge for those matches at all. He said, "I did not know the players or their positions then. Really, my first game was at home to Denmark," which, of course, he lost as well. Vogts says that there are now so many foreigners in Scottish football, it's hard to find 11 decent Scots who can actually play, especially with injuries to Sheena Easton and both the Proclaimers. Scotland are now so low in the world rankings, they're below Zimbabwe, New Zealand and Honduras, which puts them just above Narnia, Hogwarts and the 2 remaining Bee Gees. And so, at the end of that round, David's team have 9 points and Gary's team have 9 points. Good God, man. Time now for our regulars to fanny about in the dark as we play Field of Sportsmen. David and Jonathan, you're first this week, if you'd like to take your positions. Take your blindfolds with you. Can we have our first mystery guest, please? OK.
Dig deep.
You can start your feeling now.
Hold it, there's more than one.
Hang on that.
I think mine are both male, unfortunately.
Oh,
Let's swap ends,
That makes
David.
a change, doesn't it?
Gower catches ball.
What do you mean it's yours? Hey,
You know what? I'm pleased to see Michael Barrymore back on TV, but I'm questioning his choice of quiz show. I think Barrymore's pool party was an unwise selection. They're all over the place. That's some sort of... It's like Graham Norton's dressing room. I don't like it one little bit, I tell you. If Michael Jackson wants to share his swimming pool and give some love to some pre-teen boys, what's wrong with that? How are you, little blanket? Did you get that milk you needed, little one? Come over here. I'll hang you off the balcony so everyone can have a look. Come on. Come on. Let's have a look at you. Off the balcony. There you go. That's behind it. Hey.
Come on, boys.
water polo.
Water polo.
Level.
National, international, Great Britain,
National,
England.
British,
England,
Scotland,
thank you, the England water polo team. Thank you, gentlemen. OK. Gary and Rory, positions, please. Blindfolds on when you get there. 90 seconds, as always, to work out who you're molesting. Can we have our second mystery guest, please? OK, and your time starts now.
I'll never read that label.
Oh, jeez. Oh, jeez.
I think it's what Emil Heskey practices on. It's something on ice.
Rory.
Is it Angus Deaton's career?
You
Rory,
leave alone.
yeah, it's snowing in here.
It is Mike Bosnick. Hello.
Oh, Christ.
Dear. Yeah, Gary, I think it's something golfy. Have a go, mate.
Hang on.
What are you doing?
It's Roger Beams, our ice golf champion. So at the end of that round, Gary's team have 9 points and David's team have 12. We wind up the show by playing the name game. The team in the league goes first, which is David's team.
Come on then.
Joe, can you pass those along to Jonathan, please?
We have a chance.
As many names as you can in 90 seconds.
Hold on.
Starting now.
OK, it's your manager. Second name is where a bunny lives, Frank Warren. OK. This is the bloke. He's Anthea Turner's husband. He lost to Ricky Gervais.
Bovey.
Yes, lovely. Well, if it's a bloke you work for, you call him...
Boss.
And the second name is... it's almost Russian for no.
Niet.
Nick, that's close enough. What? OK, very hairy cricketing bloke. Used to play with you, I believe.
W.T. Grace.
That's it. OK, this is an American football player. Second name is a lady with very large breasts goes out with footballers. Honk, honk. Jordan. First name is the state she appears to be in most of the time. Also, one of the lesser-known Jackson brothers.
Yes,
not Tito, not Jermaine, not Michael. No, it's...
It's not catatonic then, is it?
No. Hey, hold on, I'm feeling really... Oh, David, I'm feeling... No, not holy. Like that.
Randy.
That's it.
Yeah.
OK. OK, this is the first part of this Zimbabwean bowler's name is where you go to pick up gay men. Hampstead...
Heath Street.
Yes, that's it.
Heath Street.
Well done. All right, this is he's the senior, I'm the...
Junior.
That's right, and second name... He sounds like Gary Glitter, it is...
Whitter, man.
All right, this is a boxer, he's in your class, I believe. First name is the second name of the American president last, President Bill Clinton. Second name is... Yeah, there you go. All right, this is...
OK, 12. 12? You've done 12 before. Yeah, you can. OK, 90 seconds to get 12. Your time starts now.
I would really love it if my hubcaps got stolen by
Kevin Keegan.
This is... You're a nice boy. Come back to my room for milk and cookies.
OK. Oh, Michael Jackson.
You see?
Michael Jackson.
Oh, he's on it. First name, my old college at Cambridge. I'm trying to raise the intellectual level of this.
Imperial?
It's Hebrew for The Lord is with us. OK, it's a 70s porn film with Sylvia...
Daniel!
No, thank you. Second name, old word for a leopard. It's sometimes black, this wild cat.
Puma. No, they're not. Panther.
Thank you, Emmanuel.
Emmanuel Panther.
This is an Italian goalkeeper who's a bit of a clown, you might say, only without the on the
Coco.
Very
Buffon.
good. And his first name is same as the department store in Oxford Street, John Lewis.
John Lewis.
In Italian, please.
Luigi.
Gianluigi, very good indeed. Second name is the king of rock and roll.
Elvis. Presley.
Presley's first name is a common first name.
Stephen.
Thank you. Oh, well done. His second name is another name for a spliff, Gary. Is that bloke you look like from Lord of the Rings?
Dobby.
And the first name, he's one of you. You're one of these. You're one of these.
Scott.
Yeah, Scott Dobby, very good.
Scott.
Right, this is, if you're in a Liverpudlian fish market,
Yes.
you would... It's another word for to steal.
Sorry, well done.
Rob Haddock.
Rob Henry. So, Gary's team have 16, but this week's winner is David's team with 20. So, our thanks to David, Jonathan and Joe, Gary, Rory and Fred. We're all off to spike Gary's lemonade with Tizer. My name's Nick Hancock. They think it's all over. It is now.
All this Sunday night we are covered in the chat of the Silver Fox. Parkinson Night starts here tonight at 9. Next this early morning, have I got news for you? I do, so don't go changing, unless you're in therapy.